You're 28 years old. You have a college degree. You work full-time. You've saved money. You've done everything right. And yet, when you open that mortgage calculator, the numbers tell you something impossible. You cannot afford a house. Not in your city. Not in the next city over. Maybe not anywhere. This isn't just your story. It's the story of millions of Americans right now. And by the end of this video, I'm going to show you the one hidden economic force that nobody's talking about, the force that's quietly rewriting the American dream while you sleep. Stay with me. Let me tell you about Sarah. She's not real, but her story is based on Bureau of Labor Statistics data and Federal Reserve reports from 2024. Sarah is 29. She's a marketing coordinator in Phoenix, Arizona. She makes $58,000 a year, right around the median income for her age group, according to the Census Bureau. She graduated in 2017 with $32,000 in student loans. She drives a 2018 Honda Civic that she's still paying off. She lives in a one-bedroom apartment that costs her $1,450 a month. Sarah has been saving for a down payment for 3 years. She's cut back on everything. No vacations. No new clothes. Meal prepping every Sunday. She's got $25,000 in her savings account. She's proud of that number. It took discipline. But when she meets with a mortgage broker in early 2024, he tells her something that makes her stomach drop. With your income and debt-to-income ratio, you're looking at a maximum home price of around $290,000. And in Phoenix right now, the median home price is $436,000. If you're watching this video, maybe you've had that exact conversation. Maybe you felt that exact feeling, like the rules changed and nobody told you. And here's the thing, the rules did change. Before we go further, do me a favor, hit that like button. This video took real research, real data, and I want to make sure it reaches people who need to hear it. And drop a comment below. Have you tried to buy a house recently? Let's rewind 40 years. In 1984, according to Federal Reserve economic data, the median home price in America was around $79,000. The median household income was about $26,000. That means the median home cost roughly 3 times the median annual income. Fast forward to 2024, the median home price is approximately $417,000, while median household income sits at around $75,000. That's a ratio of 5.6 to 1. The house-to-income ratio has nearly doubled. But it's not just about ratios. Let's talk about what actually happened to the money. Sarah's parents bought their first house in 1995. Her dad was a high school teacher making $35,000 a year. Her mom worked part-time at a library. They bought a 3-bedroom house in a Phoenix suburb for $98,000 with a 10% down payment. Their mortgage payment was $720 a month. That was 24% of their household income. Today, with that same $290,000 home, the broker showed Sarah, and a 20% down payment, her monthly mortgage payment would be around $2,100 at current interest rates hovering near 7%. That's 43% of her gross monthly income. The Federal Reserve considers anything over 30% of gross income to be cost-burdened. Sarah isn't just cost-burdened. She's locked out entirely. And here's where it gets worse. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, real wages adjusted for inflation, have barely moved since the 1970s for most American workers. In 1973, the average worker could buy a certain basket of goods with their paycheck. In 2024, that same worker, adjusted for inflation, can buy roughly the same basket. Wages flatlined, but assets, stocks, bonds, and especially real estate exploded in value. Subscribe to this channel if you want more deep dives into the economic forces shaping your life. This is the content mainstream news won't give you with this level of detail. So what happened? Why did housing decouple from wages so dramatically? There are three major forces, and they all converged in the last 15 years. Force number one: institutional investors. After the 2008 financial crisis, private equity firms and hedge funds realized something. Millions of foreclosed homes were hitting the market at fire sale prices. These firms, backed by billions in capital, swept in and bought entire neighborhoods. In cities like Phoenix, Atlanta, and Las Vegas, companies like Blackstone purchased thousands of single-family homes, converting them to rentals. According to a 2023 report by MetLife Investment Management, institutional investors now own approximately 574,000 single-family homes in the United States. That's nearly 3% of all single-family rentals. In some markets, like Phoenix, it's closer to 10%. These firms don't buy houses the way you do. They buy with cash. They close in days. They outbid families. And they never sell. Why would they? Rental income is steady. Home values appreciate. It's the perfect asset class. Sarah isn't just competing with other families anymore. She's competing with Wall Street. And Wall Street has deeper pockets. Force number two: zoning laws and housing supply. According to the National Association of Home Builders, the United States has been underbuilding housing for 15 years. We need approximately 1.5 million new housing units per year to keep up with population growth and household formation. In 2023, we built around 1.4 million. We're chronically behind. But it's not just about quantity. It's about where we can build and what we can build. In most American cities, 75% or more of residential land is zoned exclusively for single-family homes. That means no apartments, no duplexes, no townhomes, just detached houses on big lots. This zoning regime was created in the early 20th century, often with explicitly racist intentions to exclude minority families from certain neighborhoods. Today, those laws remain, and they've created an artificial scarcity. When you restrict supply and demand keeps growing, prices skyrocket. It's Econ 101. Sarah's generation is paying the price for zoning decisions made 70 years ago. Force number three, and this is the one nobody talks about: interest rates and financialization. From 2008 to 2021, the Federal Reserve kept interest rates near zero to stimulate the economy after the financial crisis and then the pandemic. Near zero rates meant cheap borrowing. That's great if you already own assets. You can borrow cheaply against your home, invest in stocks, buy more property. But if you're trying to enter the market for the first time, like Sarah, you're competing against people who are leveraging cheap debt to buy second, third, and fourth homes. Then, in 2022, inflation spiked. The Fed responded by raising interest rates aggressively. Mortgage rates, which had been below 3% in 2021, shot up to over 7% by 2023. For Sarah, that means the same $290,000 house now costs her $600 more per month than it would have just two window. And millions of Americans missed it with her. What's your take on this? Do you think the Fed moved too slowly or too fast? Drop your thoughts below. I read every comment. Here's the emotional reality. Sarah looks at her parents' life, and she sees a template she can't follow. They bought a house at 26. They had equity. They built wealth. She's 29, makes more than they did adjusted for inflation, and she's further from home ownership than they ever were. This isn't about avocado toast. This isn't about financial irresponsibility. The structure of the economy has fundamentally shifted, and it's locked an entire generation out of the primary wealth-building tool in American life. According to the Federal Reserve's survey of consumer finances, the median net worth of homeowners in 2022 was $396,000. For renters, it was $10,000. That's a 42-1 difference. Homeownership isn't just about having a place to live. It's about stability. It's about being able to borrow against equity to start a business, pay for education, weather financial emergencies. It's about passing wealth to the next generation. When you're locked out of home ownership, you're locked out of wealth accumulation. And here's the future trajectory. According to projections from the Urban Institute and Harvard's Joint Center for Housing Studies, if current trends continue, home ownership rates for Americans under 40 will continue to decline. By 2030, we could see home ownership rates for millennials and Gen Z drop below 35%, compared to over 50% for previous generations at the same age. That means more wealth concentration among those who already own property, more inequality, more instability. Sarah's story doesn't have a happy ending yet. She's still renting. She's still saving. She's considering moving to a cheaper city, maybe somewhere in the Midwest where home prices haven't exploded as dramatically. But even that feels like exile, leaving behind her job, her friends, her community. Before we get to the big reveal I promised at the beginning, make sure you're subscribed. Hit that bell icon. This channel is about cutting through the noise and giving you the real economic picture. So here's the insight I promised you at the start, the one hidden economic force nobody's talking about. It's not just interest rates. It's not just zoning. It's not just Wall Street. It's the fact that housing in America has been transformed from a consumer good into a financial asset. We stopped treating homes as places to live and started treating them as investments, as stores of value, as inflation hedges. And once that transformation happened, every policy decision, every market force, every institutional behavior optimized for asset appreciation, not for affordability. Your parents' generation could buy homes because homes were priced for people to live in them. Today, homes are priced for investors to profit from them. And until we, as a society, decide to reverse that transformation through policy changes, through tax incentives that favor primary residences over investment properties, people like Sarah will keep getting locked out. The American dream didn't die. It was financialized. And that might be the most un-American thing of all. This is your economy. These are your choices. These are the forces shaping your future. If this video gave you clarity, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment with your story. And remember, understanding the system is the first step to changing it. I'll see you in the next one.